Hi guys, I want to explain what's been going on these last few months, why I've not been making videos, and so before I start, this is not going to be the most positive video in the world. It's going to talk about past traumas, it's going to talk about depression, and all those good topics. This is about me and my reaction to what was going on in my life. It's not about the other people involved. It's not meant to criticise. And those people made their choices. They behaved how they believe best. I believe they did that with best of intentions. I don't believe there was any ill intent. And I don't wish for this to be taken as such. I don't, if you know who was involved when I get talking, certainly don't want you to go to any of their social media and make comment. That's not what this is about. So, back in February, I started training with a very good coach who has very good past success personally and for his clients in the athletics field, and I'll admit I was a little bit starstruck, I guess. So I started, and the first few weeks went brilliantly. A few weeks in, and I can pinpoint the conversation, I was asked about things in my past that were extremely traumatic. I was taken back to that, both mentally and emotionally. My failing here is that I didn't check what this person's qualifications were in the realm of therapy of any kind. And so I really struggled to get back from reliving those traumas to be myself. So I carried on, and that is the point, I would say, where the relationship started to struggle. I was angry at myself. I punished myself through what I was doing training. I was going way beyond what was recommended. It wasn't good. And so then, a few weeks on, another conversation happened in which I, again, doubled down, decided to stay. I'd actually got to the point that I was going to leave, and I didn't. And again, that's my choice. I could have gone at that point, and avoided the next few months, but I didn't. I stayed. I carried on, and this is where I was trying on and off, rebelling, but most of the time I was really trying to stick with the program. And I got to a point where every day I was failing in some way. So either I was being talked to negatively, or I was using a lot of self-negative talk. I was failing. I couldn't do it. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm just not good enough. And it was daily. And it got bad. But again, I chose to carry on. I chose to stay. I could have walked away and protected my mental health. And I didn't. And I carried on. I pulled out of various things that I desperately wanted to do. The very reasons I'd gone to this coach, I didn't do them on their advice. And I was gradually getting more and more depressed, to the point where I didn't want to be alive. And wasn't constant, but that's where I was. And that's where I was when I booked my flights to go on Camino. And that's the point I was at when I got on that plane to go on Camino. I was struggling. I was fighting on a daily basis just to carry on. I went. They were extremely disappointed in me for going. They considered it completely the wrong thing for my training. I went, and I came back and really proud of what I'd achieved. Over 300 miles, goodness knows how many mountains. Really, really proud of my achievement. And again, it was described as a failure. And I was upset. Again, I seriously considered quitting, but I didn't. I carried on. And this is the point where I desperately tried to comply with every single piece of advice. Every instruction I tried to stick to the letter. I was no longer going out on countryside runs. I've been to the Lake District less than a handful of times since I started with them in February. I was trying to do exactly as advised, and it still wasn't good enough. And eventually they called quits. They decided that I wasn't sticking to the programme enough and that I was not suitable. And I was upset when they quit me. I really was genuinely upset. So, it was the right thing. I'm glad I'm no longer with them. I'm glad I can find myself again. However, I've put a lot of weight back on. Again, it's my own fault. I could have quit. I've put a lot of weight back on. I'm still struggling from time to time with the negative thoughts, but I'll be honest, now that I don't have to answer to somebody for going a little bit too far, for going into the countryside, that's better. But I have really not been enjoying the sport. I'm really struggling to go out at all at the moment. And this video is not a criticism of that person. Their coaching clearly works. Doesn't work for me. There is no point me being physically fit if I can't bear to be alive. I am still losing fitness. I'm still fighting to get myself to go out. I've not been out yet today, and it's about 3:00 in the afternoon. I need to be assertive. I need to stop taking an expert's word just because they're an expert, because they're not me. They don't know what it's like to live with my health conditions. And it is my responsibility entirely that at week 4, at week 8, in March, in May, in June, and again in July, I had points where I could have just called quits. And I didn't. And that's my responsibility. And I need to work on my assertiveness. So I'm making this video. It's incredibly difficult to make. I still feel very much like I failed. But I want to say to anybody who sees this, anybody who is starting to get fit, who has to consult experts for very personal things, remain in control. Just because you've got some superstar expert, some top consultant or whoever telling you something, if you believe it's wrong, you walk away. You need to get a second opinion, do whatever. But if you believe a piece of advice is wrong, then get out. There is no point being your fittest person but being dead because you have got to that point mentally. So this is my promise to myself, that I will never blindly follow anybody again, and that I will develop that assertiveness, work on that assertiveness. But also, if there's anybody there that wants to partner up and help me get back to the fitness that I was before I met this person in February, then please drop me a message. You can use the Wheelie on Facebook and just get in touch and we'll work together. I don't want anybody to go through this kind of hell basically out of choice. It was my choice to engage. It was my choice to stay engaged. I put myself through this and now I'm going to dig myself out of it. I couldn't bear to make videos on Camino because of how much I was told it was a failure. I'm still hoping to do those videos. I still want to tell you about that amazing journey and how wonderful it was. I just need to get out of this. And this video is the beginnings of that. So guys, keep training, keep doing, keep having a great time, but look after yourselves. You're the expert at being you. Till next time, Carol, Wheelie Mum, out.